Hello, everybody. Welcome and good evening to show number 2 of ERC The Stage. And this is the second week we've broadcast from our lockdown locations across Europe. And I'm somewhere in the bottom of the garden in North Wales. And Julian Porter, as always, joins us from his sumptuous and very pleasant ambient surroundings of wherever you are. You're in the same place as you were last week, Julian.
Well, yeah, so are you.
Yeah, and who's that in the middle? Oh, no, there we are. The graphics are all a bit over the shop this morning. So we're both in the same locations as last week. Julian, this last week, obviously the lockdown hair for me seems to be getting worse and worse. I'm looking forward to getting back out on the ERC, but your hair's looking not so bad. Have you been sorting it out yourself?
Home haircut. It's what you need, home haircut.
Looks good.
I contacted the girl who does my hair normally. She told me what to buy. Got it on the internet, straight across. I mean, that can look a bit strange. It's maybe not 100%, but it's better than kind of like, whoa, big massive helmet hair.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to keep this growing, and I'm going to ceremonially, I think, after the qualifying stage of Rally Roma, I think we'll shave it off, or at least have a haircut there. Maybe go for the Italian look.
In Rome.
Yeah, that will do. We'll do that. Right. Nice to see you. It's lovely to see you. I haven't spoken to you for a while. Let's crack on with we've got two guests. Well, we've got 3 guests this week, but let's just say hello to our first 2 guests who are standing by. Hopefully we've got one the right way up at the moment, because 5 minutes ago he was upside down. So who have we got this weekend in the lockdown studio locations, Julian?
We have ERC3 Junior and ERC3 Champion from 2019, Efren Llarena. And then we have our Erik Cais, who's just popped up there. He obviously did ERC3 last year, as well as the juniors. Eric in the Czech Republic, and a friend, I believe, in Spain. So
he looks like he's on Australia at the moment, to be honest. But
well, a friend's looking pretty relaxed and pretty calm, and then Eric there, obviously in the workshop with his car behind us. But we're going to join them soon, because we have another guest, don't we, Chris?
Yes, we do. Yeah. First round. This is great. So first round of the championship. It's a bit of a belated start to the ERC season this year. But after a little bit of rejigging, a little bit of shuffling around, he says, knocking his microphone over, Bruno from Motorsport Italia joins us this evening, because Rally di Roma Capitale is the first round of the ERC Championship this year. Late start, July date for us this year. Bruno joined us on the line this evening. Bruno, where are you in Italy at the moment?
Good evening to everyone. I'm in Rome at the moment, so nearby where the rally is going to take place.
That's good. It's great to see you. It's fantastic, and you know, it's taken a lot of organisation, hasn't it, to get to this this part of getting Rally Roma to start and to kick off the ERC calendar. You know, massive amount of organisation from you, and also with this coronavirus that's been heading around the world, caused a lot of trouble, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been a bit different job compared to the previous year, let's say. Before, everything was scheduled much easily. We didn't have to change protocols, or we didn't have special protocols for virus or pandemic like we had this year. And the difficulties, honestly, is every week something new happens. So every week we have to face, sometimes the lockdown is getting easier. Sometimes they want new prescription to be adopted. Sometimes they want tests to be done to everybody. So it's difficult to adapt the protocol and the rally to what the authorities are somehow forcing us to do. But I think that at this point, we really want to start. So we are going to accept more or less everything they are going to tell us, as far as they will let the rally go.
Okay.
So what exactly have you had to do, and what has yourself and your organizing team put into place to abide by the government rules?
So let's say, first of all, we have been the first sport event to start, and the first international sport event to start. So maybe someone will start before us, but there are no protocols around that you can look or you can try to take advantage by copying something from them, something that has been already approved. So we have to start everything from scratch, everything from zero. So during this lockdown, as you can imagine, we didn't have a lot of time to go out. It was forbidden. So we spent quite a lot of time in our houses. And this, from one point, has been good because we had a lot of time to think about the rally and try to make the rally, let's say, possible, even with this pandemic going on. And as you know, Italy has been one of the countries more affected in Europe. So has been a real challenge. But from the other point of view, we learn a lot of new things. So, and we are seeing a lot of new possibilities. Like, for example, from this year, we are going to adopt, and there's been also accepted by our federation, we are going to do the scrutineering like the WRC cars and the manufacturer teams are doing in WRC. So under the team tents. So the team doesn't have to go anymore into the scrutineering area, but are the marshal going to them. In this way, we are avoiding, 400 people, 500 people to move in one location, and we are just moving 12 people around the service park to each one of the team. So adopting these easy measures makes the level of danger of the event really become low. Motorsport is not a dangerous event in the list of CONI. We have a sport association in Italy called CONI, and they made a list of all the sports that could be somehow dangerous for the COVID spread. And motorsport, luckily, is not one of those. So this makes our life much easier when we prepare protocols, because social distancing and masks are going to be mandatory for the whole event. But thanks to the use of one application, we can register all the people that are going to come at the event. Spectators, if we are going to make the spectators the rally with the open door, like we said in Italy. So if we are going to accept spectators in the stage, then our app will work for them as well. So everybody should go in the app, should register, and the app will release a pass, which will be an electronic pass. And this pass will be checked every time you are going into the service area or into the headquarters or into the media zone. So only the people which are going to be allowed to enter in those areas are going to effectively enter. All the rest will be rejected. And before entering in all this zone, there will be a triage. A triage is a kind of small hospital, a tent where they are going to check your temperature, check that you are wearing the mask, check that you don't have symptoms. So are really simple, let's say, procedure that we are going to take into place, which are going to change a bit the rally, but at the same time, they are going to allow us and you to work in the rally and to start again, because what we need at the moment is to restart. Everything is blocked here, and I think there as well.
Can I just jump in with this app? I mean, we've been trialing in the UK at the moment, a contact tracing app, where there's talk of the government's rolling that out, and tracking this virus is key to it. There was talk of Apple and Google as well, sort of putting together an app with Bluetooth technology. I know that you're very innovative there at Motorsport Italia. Did you come up with this idea, this plan, and go to them and say, this is the solution? Or did they say, this is what you need to do in order to make this event work?
No, we did it together with our federation. We decided that was important to do the first step. So to be able to go to the health organization and say, okay, we are doing this because we really want to restart. So we are ready to put in place something that can really monitoring people coming from abroad or from Italy into this region. And this has been important. It's been the first step. Then, of course, the app at the beginning was totally different than what you are seeing now. At the beginning, the app was prepared only to monitoring spectators. And then we say, okay, we are monitoring spectators. Why we cannot monitoring everyone? And then the app becomes bigger and bigger and bigger every day. And there has been quite a lot of help from our federation that was in contact with the health authority every single week, because there was a bulletin coming out every single week, and they were allowed to go and discuss the future procedure with them, and try to bring the positive that we were doing as well into the table and into the discussion. So I think the app now is working quite well. It's quite easy to use. You can enter, register yourself. It's going to give you a pass. You use the pass, and we know exactly at which time you checked in every zone. So in case in the 15 days after the rally, we are gonna keep monitoring you by sending messages in push. So you should answer if you have symptoms, COVID symptoms or not. And if you have some COVID symptoms, we are gonna be able to track everybody that was in the same area with you at each of the times. So then we can inform them and tell them to go and have a check, so that we avoid the spread of the virus again.
That's incredible. That really is amazing.
It is amazing. That aside, Bruno, obviously, I believe entries have opened. A route has been announced. What can you tell us on the actual sporting side that we hope to have?
The rally is going to be very similar to what you have seen last year. So at the moment, we have the start in Castel Sant'Angelo, then we go to Ostia, which is a new part of the rally, because last year the super special stage was only in Sunday. This year we will have it in Friday and in Sunday. So we move to Ostia, we will do the super special stage, and then we drive down to Fiuggi. Saturday we will have all the stages around Pico, and in Sunday instead we have the stages around Rome, so Rocca di Cave, this kind of stages, more open, less twisty. The one that we are seeing now, for example, is a stage that is running. This one is running in Saturday. But yes, so the rally is going to be very similar to last year, ended in Ostia with the super special stage, and with the parade that Ormai is typical from this rally. We have the parade in Friday in the center of Rome with all the rally car and the police escort. That is going to happen after the start, in between the start and the super special stage, so in Friday afternoon.
Fantastic. We've got some comments coming in, Bruno, saying very clever idea, this app, can't wait, absolutely brilliant, and congratulations, and lots of claps as well for you to come up with this and get the ERC started. I was excited this morning. I got up, and one of the first things I did was checked our ERC Twitter feed this morning, and there we could see that entries were open for Rally Rome this year. Can I ask, have you received any entries yet? Who has sort of put the form in this morning or during the day?
Yeah, we received one entry at the moment. We received a lot of emails and a lot of requests, of course, and we received one entry at the moment. I don't remember exactly who the driver was, because I have seen it just this evening, but maybe I'm able to tell you in a few minutes.
I've just been looking down on the monitor here while Bruno was talking, and we've been playing the footage in from last year, and I keep looking down because it's amazing how quickly 12 months rolls by, and I really enjoyed it. And Julian, the start last year in the center of Rome, we were absolutely blown away. I mean, Bruno, you pulled it out of the bag last year to start. Like, we were like 300-400 meters away from the Vatican. You could see it at the end of the street. It just walking through the center of Rome before that ceremonial start last year, you couldn't pick a better spot to start a rally. It's absolutely stunning, and then the stages as well. But it was so hot last year as well. It was so hot, 30+ degrees out in the countryside. Yeah. But amazing.
It's hot right now as well, because compared to what it was last year, is really warm. But the season has been a bit crazy, because we had warm in December for some days, and then was really cold in January and warm again in February. So the season has been all upside down. So maybe end of July it will be a bit colder. So it will help the driver to drive and not to be too warm inside the cockpit. So that will be nice for everyone.
Who's your money on? Is it for an Italian lockout on the podium this year again?
Difficult to say. Italian Championship will run together with the ERC again. The latest news says that this rally will count double points for Italian drivers into the Italian Championship. So leg one will be aware in 1 points, and then for the second day there will be another classification. So the two legs will have two different classifications, and I would say that in this way, I think in both days Italian drivers are gonna push. But you know very well that there are a lot of strong drivers coming from other countries which are really fast, and they seems to do some very good times in our stages. So I'm really looking forward for the battle, to be fair. And this year you have also former WRC driver coming back to ERC. So I'm really looking forward for the battle in the stage.
Who's lived in Italy for a short period of time as well, didn't he? He's
Yeah.
been commuting between the north and various other parts of the world, including Ireland. But
That's
yeah,
true. I don't know if you ever run in our event, to be fair with you, but for sure is one of the top driver we see around the world. So it's gonna be hard to beat him.
yeah, we'll see.
It
We'll
will.
see.
That's great, Bruno. Brilliant update. Hopefully those entries will flood in, and we'll all be 8 weeks' time or something. Oh, he's got loads of free stuff.
I've got the water ready.
Free stuff. But yeah, thanks for your time, Bruno, and thanks for the update. Brilliant.
Thank you very much. And I just want to say something. Laszlo Martin was the first one sending his entry. So congratulations to him. He's the winner.
So he wins a T-shirt.
Brilliant.
Hey, Bruno, we'll see you in a few weeks' time. Great to see you.
Thank you. See you soon, guys.
See you later. So Bruno can get back to preparing the dinner this evening now, can't he? He can go back or taking in those entries. Julian, you and me, but we've got, of course, our other guests on the line to join us this evening. Hopefully, Efren might have got himself the right way up now, because he was upside down a short while ago, but hopefully we can pull in with our guests in a moment and then move on to the next bit. Is he there?
Oh, I was going to do a little bit of news just while they got themselves sorted. A minute or so on the news, just to let you know that Rally Guide 1 is now available for what should be and hopefully will be round 2, Rally Liepaja. Mattia Vitta has shown his livery for his ERC3 program. So that's the update now for Liepaja. That's available and out. So go onto the website. You'll be able to find out what's in store for round 2 of this year's championship. There's Mattia Vitta's car. He's driving a Peugeot. He hopes to change to the new Peugeot, which we'll find some more information out when we speak to Efren. But Mattia, that's his car for this year, the Italian coming back into ERC. Also, someone else who's going to be coming back into ERC for the tarmac rounds is Emma Falcon, the Canary Islander. She is going to do her tarmac rounds. She's done Rome before. She's done Canaries, obviously, before, and Barham. Hungary is new for Emma this season. And then Dmitry Fiafanov, he has announced his colour scheme and his program in ERC2. And that is his Mitsubishi there. Quite a cool colour scheme, quite different. I quite like the blue and silver. His hopes for this year is to gain experience on the events he didn't do last year and then improve on the ones that he did do. So that's our news desk. Now to our main guests.
Yes, okay. Sorry, Julian, I was a bit ahead of the game there. We need to get ourselves some a stingle or something like that.
I've done this for you when you don't look at it.
I've got it here. We've got the list. I think you faxed it through to me earlier on, but I just wasn't reading it because I was so intent on getting Bruno's Rally de Roma water on site. Now, is it me? Am I correct? Is Efren upside down or is it my computer?
No, he's perfect to me, but I think his microphone might be muted. Looking at the picture here, I'm not sure whether his microphone is muted or not. He's perfect.
Okay.
Garage in the world behind him. That's perfect. So
Fine.
We'll start with our ERC3 champion and junior champion from 2019. Efren, welcome. How are you? How is things going in this strange situation?
Hello, how are you? Fine, very well. Here in Spain, good weather. So yeah, we can be on the street doing sport. So it's much better than 2 months ago.
That's good. Obviously, last year, 2019, was a great season. 3 wins, the championships, a big crash in Poland. How much did you enjoy last year?
Last year it was incredible for us. We start very well in Azores. We won the first rally of the season. After that, in Canary, we were second. The season started very well on the first 2 rallies. But after that, in the FIA, we have some engine problems. We were 5th in the overall classification, but for sure we have a lot of problems. And after that, we crashed in Poland, and it started to be quite difficult to be fighting for the ERC Junior Championship. So we try to be very fast in Rome, but in the first stage we have a puncture, so we need to try to attack, and finally we end in Rally Rome in 3rd position. So we were to Barum Rally, trying to be very fast and trying to win, and let's see what was not our position on the championship.
Efren, I have to say, sorry, Julian, just to jump in. When we first met you, and you were part of the ERC Junior experience a few years ago, and I remember you being in that boot camp in actually in Rally de Roma, and at the time you just spoke Spanish and could hardly speak any English, and it's certainly come on. Your English is absolutely spot on now. It's coming along really well. Is that easy for you, or are you finding it difficult learning English? Is it hard? Because I can't speak Spanish. I'm sorry.
It's quite difficult for sure, because obviously when you are in the half of the season, you can speak with a lot of guys. In every rally you can speak English, but since 6 months we have not speak any English word, no. So now it's for me it start the season also in the English level.
Yeah.
For 2020, Efren, you've got a Citroen C3. Obviously, Erik, who is below you on my screen right now, he's in an R5 car. Both of you drivers will move from ERC3 up into ERC1 in the junior category. You've got yourself a Citroen. You've been testing it. We're watching the pictures. What is that car like?
Yeah, the car is absolutely amazing. It is very easy to drive. I only test it on travel, but for sure it was the best car I have been driving. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to start the season, and I want to test the car in tarmac, because I know the level of the car in tarmac is completely amazing.
Something else, Chris, that Efren has been doing is the new Peugeot 208 R4 car, as it's going to be. You've been testing that. You've done a rally in that. But also, you had one of my heroes turn up to your test, which was Francois Delacour. Just give us an insight to what this car is like, and what do you think it could be for junior drivers?
Yeah, the car is completely different than the previous one, the previous Peugeot. The car has a lot of now has a lot of torque, because you know that the car is with turbo, so the engine is very powerful, and also the rear suspension is much better, because now you can be in the bumpy section very fast. With the old one, the rear was always in movement, but with this car is very easy to drive. And for sure, the brake balance is much better. No, you can brake very hard, and the rear is completely stable. So I think they did a very good car, and I think it will be the best car of the category for sure.
Just looking at the shots that we've got on screen here at the moment, Efren, it looks like a car, as you say, that's quite forgiving. The R2 just, I don't know, it always looked a bit tight and a bit stiff, but it looks like it's got a lot more movement in it, this one.
Yeah, for sure. It's completely different than the previous R2. Now it's like the S3 R3. You have less movement. It's very easy to drive the car. You can attack without lot of big moments. So it can help you to be drive. You can be very safe with the terrain. So I think it's a very good car.
What was it like having Francois Delacour there?
You love him, don't you, Julian?
Delacour's brilliant. I think he's great. What was he like?
You're like a kid in a sweet shop.
It was good, but he was not sit on my right because he's a driver, so for sure he didn't want. But Sarah was co-driving him, and yeah, it was good to see him on the test. He tried to help a little bit with us with the stuff, but he said exactly the same. The balance of the car is very good, and the brake balance is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I was going to say, can I jump in? Efren, we believe it was your birthday yesterday. Is that correct? Did you celebrate in style?
Yeah, it is correct.
No, that's good. I was going to say, because I've just done something that's a health and safety issue because I'm in the garage. We thought it was your birthday, which I've done. I've prepared something for you, Fran. So we've got the cake for you here. So we're all good to go. Now, the problem is, because your birthday was yesterday, we ate most of it, but we saved you a slice. There you go, thank you. Yeah, we saved you a slice. But I just, sorry, Julian, we didn't mean to ditch you out of the shot there, because where I've just lit these candles on this cake is actually, I've realised, on top of a jerry can, which is full of fuel. So we don't want to go off with that, do we? That's not so cool. Right, happy birthday, Efren, for yesterday. Julian, back to you.
Thank you so much. And enjoy the cake.
I need to go and blow those out. Hang on.
You go and blow those out. Eric, you've sat patiently waiting to chat while we've gone through Bruno and Efren. It's the youngest last in this situation, but you do have the coolest background. Chris is doing something I'm not sure what, but you and Chris Rawls have a big common interest, because if you look behind Chris, he's got mountain bikes. So I'm going to let Chris ask you about your mountain biking career before we get onto the rallying.
Get onto the proper stuff.
Yeah.
Eric, probably the most tidiest garage in Europe at the moment. Mine is the messiest. But obviously, you moved up to the ERC last year, and mountain biking is your main thing. Tell us about that. What sort of age did you get underway with the mountain biking? And what, for people who don't know, what kind of silverware have you won? And kind of, are you a big deal?
I don't know when I started mountain biking, because in our country it's like that every small guy who has his own bike, he's going to woods and ride it. So I started when I can ride on the bicycle. But I think my 12th I start to race mountain bike, and I go like up and up and up. It was really nice, and I have really great memories from the bicycle, but the car is the car, what I can say.
Really? Do you, I mean, are you feeling a little bit older now? Do you get a bit sweaty when you're pedaling the bike? But you were a downhill biker, so you basically got the car to give you a lift to the top of the hill, and then you just went down like some mental kind of bendy kid with lots of suspension and body armor on. So you didn't actually ride much, did you? You just freewheeled downhill.
Yeah, everybody is thinking the downhill is like easy, but your heart is beating in I think 190 all the time. If you are going down, if you are going fast, for sure. And for sure, if I'm training, I'm going a lot of kilometers on the road bike or enduro bike. So yeah, I'm sweating a lot. But for this moment, if I go to the bicycle and I ride like 200 meters, I'm like a dog who wants really water. so yeah, my physical dedication from years from the bicycle are gone. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm in good shape, I think. But yeah, it's not what it was.
Well, I've got my older bikes hanging on the wall here, but I've succumbed to. Julian just hates me for it. Pedal assisted e-bikes.
I like the
so much
Specialized
fun.
because I really love Specialized.
Yeah, really.
Oh,
Good.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, good man. We'll talk
Eric,
later.
yeah, you could talk later about bikes. Eric, behind you obviously is your Ford Fiesta R5, but let's just go back to last year and your first full year in ERC in the Ford Fiesta R2 car. A win in Hungary. Latvia was 2 crashes in 1 week, one in the test and one in the rally. But how much did you learn and how much did you grow last year in the season?
I would say like a lot because it was, like you say, first year in some championship. It was the European one, and I was getting to know what is the ERC. So yeah, I learned a lot. First time on gravel, first time in country who is in the middle of the ocean. So you know, it's not only about driving, and you need to learn how to focus on the rally because it's really long, and you don't want to destroy the car in first stage. So I was getting to know the rallies, how to drive car on the gravel, and try to drive the car on the limit because guys in ERC are really fast. So I think it's really great championship to learn how to race.
Efren and I'm sorry, Eric. Just like Efren, you're moving up to the R5, the bigger class this year. You know, how much training have you been doing, and how much seat time? You sat next to the car there. You know, have you driven it in anger much at the moment, or have you just sat in it and played with the steering wheel?
No, we test. We had a lot of proper tests, but only on the tarmac. I did some testing and one rally this year on gravel, but in this car I don't have so much experience on gravel. But on the tarmac, the R5, it's something incredible, and I'm looking forward like hell to drive it on some rally. Hopefully on Roma Capitale if it starts. So yeah, I have a few kilometers in this car, and I think the setup of the car it's now really good, and I'm, like I said, looking forward for Roma.
Something that obviously you've tested your car, your R5 on tarmac. A friend's just told us he's tested on gravel. So the two of you have got a little bit of experience. But what do you feel is the biggest step from the two-wheel drive Fiesta to the four-wheel drive Fiesta?
What is the biggest step? It's like if you are every day going to work by bus and you will switch it that you will own your car. It's absolutely different. It's like you say, it's four-wheel drive. So the pace of the steering and everything, you need to be more precise, and everything is faster. So your focus have to be on 110%, and for sure the car is cost a lot more of the R2. So you will not do mistakes, because if you will do a mistake, it will be really bad for sure. Or of course in R2, but this is something really different.
Erik, last week we had Chris Ingram on, and he started off in R2s, and he moved up, and part of his prize package he was driving in the R5 class, one of the first things he said to us when he came to the end of the first stage in the Azores, that he was amazed that just how fast the scenery was going outside the window. After having two-wheel drive and then to four-wheel drive, and he said it was a real surreal experience. Obviously, you've been talking there about how the comparison of how fast it is, but then what's your game plan? Chris Ingram started off in R2s, went to R5s, then became champion, or ERC champion. What's your sort of long-term goal? Okay, you're champion on two wheels on a mountain bike, but what about four-wheel drive, driving an R5 car? How long until you're going to be ERC champion? That's the question tonight.
I think that's the question for everybody who drives the four-wheel drive car. But I'm the racer. I want it as soon as possible, and I will do my best to do it. But like I said, in ERC are really great guys who want to win. So it will be not so easy, and I think I need a lot of experience in this car to be able to drive with these guys. But I will do my best.
But do you think it would be a 3-year goal, 4-year, 5-year, or just when it comes?
This is really difficult. It's really difficult question, but I hope that it will be in these 2 years. But we will see.
Okay. I got my wristband.
Something else. No, he's got his Orsac band on. Another free thing. Something else, obviously, that you and a friend you've done ERC3. You're moving up to ERC1 juniors. Something else you have in common is you both have female co-drivers. Sarah Fernandez, who co-drives with Efren, and yourself with Jędrzejka Zarkova. Now, Jędrzejka sent us a message. She couldn't join us tonight, but she has sent us a message. So let's just hear from Jędrzejka first.
Hello everyone, my name is Jędrzejka Zarkova and I am Czech co-driver. My driver is Erik Cais, and this year we have a big challenge because we will start with new Fiesta R5 in ERC1 junior category, and I can wait. See you soon, bye!
A lot of silverware in the background there.
Yeah, that's the trophies that they've won together. Now, the next thing we're going to try, Chris. Erik, I don't know how you're going to do this. I know you've got 3 cameras, but we want to have a look around your car. I don't know how it's going to work, if it's going to work.
Good luck.
But is that something we can try?
Yeah, probably. Můžeme ukázat auta?
If he cuts us off, then we'll be back next week. But Erik, yeah, have a go.
I think it will be possible by another camera. Now you can see the whole of the car, but yeah, this is the livery what we will drive this year. Hopefully the winning one. But if you want to see car the closer,
can you take that camera with you?
Yeah,
that one. There's one there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got another camera.
If you want to see. Just tell me what you want to see.
Everything.
Well, just give us, mainly inside. Okay. I think.
Mainly inside, okay. Here is the cockpit. The beautiful one, I think this is the most beautiful R5.
Erik, the cockpit looks absolutely amazing. I also, when you go back to your seat, I want to talk about that in a minute, the thing that you've just been sat on in the workshop. But this car, is it new body shell from Orsac for this year? Is it a fresh one, or have we been using this one in the ERC and other rallies?
Sorry, I don't understand the question. I'm so sorry.
It's not a brand new car for this year, is it? It has been used in other events before.
No. This is the brand new car for ERC. We just did a setup on the tests.
Wow. And also, whilst that guy was holding the camera just a moment ago when you were showing us the cockpit, could you just show us the seat that you're sat on? Because that's actually a barbecue. I'm sure of it, a barbecue cushion. Can we have a look at that? Did you notice that, Julian? Because
normally the cameras or what?
No, the seat that you've just the seat that you've just sat on.
Okay.
Yeah, show us that. There's a
this
bar.
one.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely.
We need to
brilliant.
go to the wide camera, don't we? We got another angle of that.
Look at this. Go at that. The fuel
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, because this
amazing.
is the fuel, and you know that here's the grill one. But I'm so sorry, I don't have a meat for you, just for me.
Okay. You know, I spot stuff in Radicars. Chris spots the food in the background, but unbelievable. Erik, it's been great to chat to you. We're looking forward to all being in Italy, in Rome, and yeah, let's just hope that you get some mileage on. Well, you've had mileage on tarmac. A friend needs mileage on tarmac. I don't know whether a friend's gone. Maybe he decided to cut himself out, but we've got a couple of little other bits and bobs to do. But thanks for joining us. We can't wait to see you, and hopefully everything should be all right. The car looks ready to go, so hopefully you and Jędrzejczyk are.
Yeah, we are ready to go, and I'm really looking forward to have a lunch with you in Roma.
Looking forward to nice pizza. Sounds good.
Nice
Sounds
pizza,
good.
yeah.
Nice pizza. We'll get ourselves a European pizza country. Now, that's Erik. We'll catch him soon in Roma in a few weeks' time. Julian, newcomer time for this week then. So should we leave it a mystery to our viewers tonight? Time right, roll the tape on our ERC newcomer for this year.
Hey everyone, I'm Dominik Dinkel. I'm 27 years old and I'm from Germany. I'm driver in the ERC1 Junior Championship in 2020. So I start my career in 2011. Most of the time I spent in the German Rally Championship, where I can score the Vice Championship title in 2017 and 2018 on a Skoda Fabia R5. This season I will make the next step with my long-term partner Brose in the ERC, and with my team Romo Motorsport and the new Skoda Fabia Rally 2 Evo. We choose the ERC because the competition is very high and I can get the best experience there. I hope we can start the first rally very soon. At the moment in the lockdown I do some training in my simulator and on my bicycle. I'm really looking forward to be part of the ERC family, and I hope we can see us soon on the stage.
So that's one of our newcomers then. Oh, Eric's still there. So that's one of our...
Eric's great.
Eric's not going anywhere. But yeah, Dominik, going to be our newcomer for this year. It'd be great to get to meet all of them, just like Erik was a newcomer a season or so ago. So nice to have him back. And yeah, there we are, Julian. So calendar news then, just before we wrap up for this evening. The calendar, we're getting excited. Rome is happening. Entries are open. Where are we off to on the ERC this year, Julian?
Well, that's it. The third week of July is, as we've mentioned, Rome. We've had that chat with Bruno earlier on. Then middle of August, nice sunny hot weather in Liepaja in Latvia. Then Bar and Czech rallies in. That will be onto an event that a lot of people have got a lot of notice on. The first three rounds, or actually the first four rounds, because the Azores is round four, all junior rounds for Erik and Efren and Dominik there. Then we go to Cyprus to start the second half of the season. Then we go to Hungary in the first weekend of November, which is when we were there the same time last year. And then we finalize the championship with Canaries. We normally go to Canaries in the first week of May. We're going in the first week of December. And a little bit of winter sun will be nice, but I think it could be a completely different rally. We touched on that last week, but it's a hugely different event in December, I suspect, than it will be in May. So I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to be our season closer as well, so it should be good. So that's our calendar, and we're up to date, I think, with our news and everything.
As we say, all roads lead to Rome, which is the first event of the season. Looking forward to that out of our calendar this year. And that was episode 2 of ERC The Stage, live every Wednesday evening from our lockdown locations across Europe. Thanks, of course, to all our guests who have joined us this evening. Erik, who's sat there in the workshop. He's ready to go in all his suit. Julian,
I'm surprised he's not got his race suit on, ready to drive.
He's probably got it rolled down, hasn't he? He's got it all rolled down there. Good to go. But yeah, that's ERC The Stage. Obviously, follow the news throughout the week on the social media outlets, and of course on our official website, FIAERC.com. We'll keep you up to date with any news as it happens. And then until next week, when we're back, we'll bring you some more guests next week, of course, who wants to come in to sit in the hot seat. But I think we'll sign off this week, Julian, with that stunning opening sort of procession through the streets of Rome from last year. Some classic clips that we're going to later on in July to go around the centre of Rome. From us, well, from me and from you, well, that's it. We never know how to wrap up. I never know how to wrap up. Should we just play the tape on Rome instead of, otherwise we'll keep waffling all evening. We'll catch you next week here on the stage.
Rome, where the Colosseum, Rome, and the Grand Museum, Rome. Love is everywhere, so meet me up there at St. Peter's Square in Rome. On the 7 hills, that's Rome, the Italian thrills, 'cause love is alive when you're roaming in Rome. Who put the Roman romantic? That's Rome. I'm asking, who put the Roman romantic? That's Rome.